Hello, my name is Sirrano Keith Baldeo, and I am running in District 10 for one of the most powerful seats in Dallas. And I don't think most people understand what that seat means. And folks have been trying to set the narrative for who I am, what I've been through, and what's going on in my life. So I just wanted to set the record straight. I don't want you to hear it from them. I want you to hear it from me. Why? Because if we had allowed the other side to write the story about Jesus Christ, and I am a Christian, and I get most of my directions from the gospel, the story about Christ would have been he was a liar, he was a devil, he was a blasphemer, he made magic and deceived the people, he was jailed, he was arrested, he was a criminal, and he was convicted by public opinion and put to death. That is what the narrative would have been on the other side. And I am allowing the people on the other side to also set the narrative for me. Well, not, I shouldn't say also, but set it for me. And I think I need to set my own gospel, my record straight. So I know some of you are already going to vote for Adam Magoo, and I have met one other person more deceptive and cunning and crafty as he has been. I have made attempts for 3.5 years to reach out to this man. I have made attempt to create all kind of organizations here through the government that it would have been so effective, from kids to youth to seniors to emergency management for the snowstorm and other things that recently happened here, to provide help and opportunities for renters and people losing their homes. I met a woman today that was basically sleeping in her car because there was nowhere for us to go. She was evicted. And she started crying, and I couldn't help her. So my background is fighting public corruption. I'm going to make this a very short video because I have another one following up with evidence. I've been fighting public corruption for about over a decade. And if anyone told you that they fought public corruption and they don't have the scars and the beating and the deception, the tainting of their name, the damaging of their reputation, the hiring of people to target them, the government hiring people to sue them and file charges against them, if they do not have that as Jesus had it, then they did not fight public corruption. I did. I have those scars. And I encourage you to go and Google my name, and you'll see newspapers bashing me. You'll see judges with the Democratic Party is trying to fine me $6,700, and ask yourself why. Why was I banned from going after public corruption in an attempt to prosecute me? Because I exposed it in my newspaper. Free speech is not free when everybody is on the same page in the government. You cannot speak up against a government that has the protection of the prosecutor, the top judges, and everyone else involved that is supposed to be prosecuting them. You will become the target. You will become the victim. You will become the villain. And it will turn out to be a biblical story where you do not get to write your side, but I will write my side. So while I was the publisher of a newspaper, I was attacked. My family was attacked. My life was threatened. There was threats to break my leg if I keep writing about the corruption and the jobs that was being given to friends and family. I went through all of that. They sued me twice. The Republican Party in New Jersey had to step in, defend those suits. And when everything else failed, they hired a private detective to do the dirty work, because everybody else realized, as a president of a newspaper, if you do something, I will publish it. So they hired a private detective to target me, follow me around, target my family when they failed to find something. And then they tapped a judge, and after the government, this is the government hired this private detective, had him sue me, paid for the lawsuit, had him file criminal charges, and sent it to the councilman here because I didn't show up to a Zoom call. And I was like, what is this charge about? It's when the PI targeted my wife and chased her down a back road. I publicly spoke about it. And this is my punishment from these Democratic judges. I cannot speak of what they did to my wife. And I'm not allowed to say that if they're going to investigate my wife, they need to investigate the private detective's wife as well. And I'm punished for that. So when you see those stuff, find out the details about it. Find out why they did what they did. Now I'm in Dallas. I found out that Adam Magoo is just as the Islamic mayor of Patterson who has been targeting me for 10 years. See, I went after Christian elected officials as well, but they never targeted me. They never hired people. They conspired with this Islamic mayor, and it all stemmed from one meeting, a Ramadan event that I went to. I knew the imam. We were kind of friendly, and he invited me, and there's the consummate at the time. His name is Andrew Sayer. He's the one that's contacting Adam Magoo here now. And he was defending the Islamic Jihad that is killing American soldiers. And I was shocked that the government of the United States would be doing that. And so I published it. And he went nuts. I published a story called Exposing Saya. And he didn't like it. And the community, see what happens to politicians is they become very friendly with the community. And when you walk into all of this and you see the deception, you faced with something complex. How do you tell all these people that this guy is a liar and a deceiver? Look, Jesus couldn't do it. They killed him for it. They beat him. They arrested him. They had false witnesses. I'm experiencing the same thing. I haven't been beaten or jailed yet. They're still trying that. They're still trying the jail thing. And now I'm in Dallas. I'm facing Adam Magoo with the same deception. He's been lying to my community. And I'm looking at all these people, and they're following me around. I had to install a video camera in my car today, following me around. And when I walk out of my car, if I had a knife or a hammer or something in it to fix the broken signs, they're sending a woman because they know it would seem more, that I'm attacking her, but she's attacking me, sending her around to follow me and then attack me and then try to use it to have me arrested. This is the same deception from the Islamic man that I had to face. And when I warned the people of Dallas, Patterson, New Jersey, it took 6 years for me, even the pastors were saying, this gentleman is a Christian. And I said, no, he's not. He's a Muslim, and he's an underclerk. And finally, when he became mayor, he appointed a chief judge that was Islamic, inexperienced, a chief of police that was Islamic, inexperienced, a chief top lawyer that was Islamic, inexperienced, and most of the boards and commissions, he's looking for Islamic personnel. And finally, pastors came to me and says, you were right. It took us long. We were friends with this guy. We grew up with him. And because we grew up with him, you just coming in and telling us he's a bad person, we don't want to hear that. And that's what I'm experiencing with Adam Magoo. This is his last year. But this is the most dangerous year that we have with him because crime is at his worst. So bad that the mayor of the city of Dallas had to remove him quickly as head of public safety, where he enjoyed the protection of the former mayor, Mike Rollins. We have to quickly take action to save Dallas, quickly save District 10. We have to do it now. And as a publisher, I'm usually on the other side of the camera. I'm usually recording people. I'm usually asking someone, if you want to run against this person, we will back you. We need to clean it now. But I am dealing with the same deceptive person that I have to convince people that he is deceptive. And I looked at Christ's life. I looked at my own experience in New Jersey, and I said, this is going to be tough. So I'm speaking to you to tell you, I took a beating fighting public corruption. They did everything they could to put me in jail, everything they could to shut down my newspaper. Google my name and you'll see everything that they did was linked right back to the government. I didn't break into somebody's house or had a conflict or a fight or an altercation. Nothing like that on the common man who's a criminal. I went after the government, and the government wants to make me out to be a criminal. Google me. You'll see all the dirty things they've been trying. Newspapers on their side, and I had to call up the publisher and says, you know this is not true. You know what you wrote is wrong. And they didn't care because they received a lot of money from these government agencies. And if you come to Dallas, you will see the Dallas Morning News. Everybody who is with Adam Magoo, has a stake in your government, has a financial stake. And the Dallas Morning News, you see, this is the list that nobody has. I have it because I've been investigating government for a long time. And the Dallas Morning News make $1.3 million from taxpayers that Adam Magoo signs off on. On top of that, they make another $1.8 million from taxpayers that Adam Magoo signs off on. So they look at the numbers. He's more popular, he'll win. Even though he's the more corrupted one, he is the corrupted one. He has the numbers to win and he will protect their investment. I don't have the numbers, but I'm the stronger, better candidate. My only chance of winning is praying to God that he treats me as he treated Gideon. Find a strategy to expose this guy. Let the people understand I've taken a beating for that city. I spoke up for the people of Paterson, New Jersey, and to protect them, to help them, to get the right money to the community, to get the right money to solve the crime problem, to get the right strategy into the community. And I have outlined it, and the government hated me for it. They attacked me every which way they could. They hired a black gentleman just to say I was a racist, but the black community did not fall for it. And so I'm just saying to you, Dallas, we're in a dangerous time right now. People are getting killed. People are getting murdered. It's not the time to worry about likability. So I am not a typical politician. I'm a different kind of animal. I'm a different kind of fighter. I invoke people to do the right thing. But unfortunately, I couldn't find someone in District 10. So I decided, you know what? If you see something happening, a crime happening, and you're behind a camera, and there's no cops around, it's time to put the camera down and go defend that woman, go defend that young man, go defend that person's family in their home, the community. As we're speaking, I am hearing gunfire. There's gunshots going on. And it's 4 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm still working. So I want you to understand who I am. Learn about who I am. On April 27th, I'm releasing my own newspaper here to outline my plans, to outline the failures of Adam Magoo and how he covers up. And one of the tricks that politicians do, that this is how he gets all his credit. The freeway here that was being fixed. There was a convoy that was going down to Austin to speak to the governor and a team down here about the freeway here. Adam Magoo wanted to have a toll tax, and put up a toll pole here. And then when he found out that the community didn't want it, then he switched his story. When they were building the freeway here, he went down with the team. This is how he works. And just took a ride. Came back up and says, I was instrumental in helping the freeway here be get a better deal, more money, whatever his issues were. I mean, his credit was. Well, I called the state and I called the city, and they told me Adam Magoo absolutely had nothing to do with the deal, $1 billion plus to redo the freeway here. I think is the LBJ freeway. So this is what he does. Somebody does something, he takes a ride, and then he comes back and says, I did it, I helped, and credit for it. This is not leadership. Leadership is going out there. Like I was out there today, asking questions. What can I do as an elected official for you? What can I do? How can I help? I already know how the power of the government. And I don't think Adam Magoo or anyone else understands the power, how powerful that seat is. They treat it like a McDonald's. Not like there's anything wrong with McDonald's, but you have to know how powerful that office is and where the money is and how to cut it. We have $73 million in debt coming. And I guarantee you, the last time Adam Magoo did cuts was to try to buy the endorsement of the police department. And when he made the endorsements, all his colleagues stripped him, took all the money away, which is $1 million something. And by the way, when you do an amendment, the money is supposed to come back to the taxpayers. The money was being taken from one pocket, put into the other pocket, and zero to go into taxpayers. This is what they do. This is a trick. This is nonsense. This is not how government functions. This is not how government should function. It should function for you. It should function the money for you. And I'm taking a beating right here with them following me around and taking a photograph of a knife and making all these nasty comments. And I'm wheeling. If you go to Adam Magoo's page, it's about me. It's about targeting me. And the reason that you do that is because you have nothing. When you have nothing, talk about your accomplishments. Now, what if he said he reduced crime? I want you to go look at the crime stats. It went up 3 years ago. It went up last year and is up again this year. Even worse, violent crime. So what credit is he taking? I can't understand this. You can't take credit for worse crime that we have in the history of Dallas. It's a decade high. So he said he was reducing crime, and that, see, this is the lie. This is how you catch politicians. If the numbers doesn't work, if what you're looking at and what he's saying is different, then you know you're being lied to. That's why they talk about lawyers. He's one. They lie all the time. It's what they do. They're trained to do it. And his lips are moving. A politician. Like I said, I'm not a typical politician. What I am is a genuine, honest, fair person. And they will beat me up for it. They will trap me for it. They will follow me like they've been following me for it. They will look for anything to discredit me because they know what's coming. There's a lot of money behind Adam Magoo, a lot of it. And they know if he loses and I get that seat, I'll cut all of it, including the Dallas Morning News, giving you back at least $2 million. So I wanted to let you know that I have a newspaper coming out to explain who I am, what I've discovered about this man, who's posting things that he suddenly wants to meet me in a secret meeting in a restaurant. Why would I want to meet you in a secret meeting in a restaurant? I was contacted by someone who told me that Adam Magoo's last two opponents 4 years ago was paid off. And look at his financial report. I did. His financial report showed that each of his last two opponents 2 years ago paid him $1,000 kickback. And I asked this person, are you sure? And they said, I am close to them. Mayor Rollins is still in the game. Another $1,000 from him. So the connections of corruption is still there. And that's why they're afraid of me. That's why they target me. That's why they discredit my name from New York all the way to, from New Jersey all the way to here. That's why they follow me around and try to get into these fights with me and create these narratives. Because they know I don't play around when it comes to corruption. I despise it. I despise lying to my community. And if it's a beating and the false witnesses, listen, we're supposed to get false witnesses. The Bible says so. Jesus had his own, I have mine. But they never pan out. And I want to tell you my story. I want to tell you what they did to me. I want to tell you what I suffered and my wife suffered from these people. From this Islamic mayor who's setting the whole stage to target me and destroy my life and my career. Sending warrants here that I don't even know that I have just for not answering a Zoom call on me saying that the PI's wife should be investigated too if you're going to investigate my wife. That's it. That's what the judges are trying to get me on. We don't have a free speech. We're supposed to. And this was published as an op-ed. So when you see him publish that on his page, understand it was an op-ed and an innocent comment I made as a newscaster. So they want to prosecute my news. Nothing criminal, but they're trying. But that's the narrative. You get him, you don't let him know the court date, and when he doesn't show up, you get that, you feed it. Look, the guy's a criminal. He's a criminal. He's got a warrant. And that's how they make you look bad. That's how they made Jesus look bad. He was a criminal. He was arrested just for speaking up. So I'm in good company. I'm in good hands. His hands. So I'm going to do another video with my newspaper. I want you to read my newspaper on the 27th before you make a mistake voting for this guy. Because it's going to cost us dearly. And last thing I'd leave you with. Adam Magoo told the T.C. Brosner at a public meeting, which I recorded, I don't understand the budget. I don't know how to read the budget. Well, isn't that a kick in the butt when you tell your best friend, hey, I'm going to vote for you to fix my car. Are you a mechanic? No, I don't know anything about cars. But hey, here's a vote, and here is a hammer. Go fix my car for me. That's what you're doing when you vote for Adam Magoo, who admitted he doesn't know how to read the budget. I know how to read the budget. I have spent the last 12 years reading hundreds of thousands of pages of ordinances, resolutions, and contracts just because I have to know if the government is corrupted. I had to watch them, and I learned a lot. I know how to read the budget. It's very simple. The complex part is why you hire 2 aides to help you read it faster and understand it. This is Sirrano. Please do not vote for the same problem that you voted for 2 years ago, didn't vote. And I know people are angry. People are confused. People don't know what's going on. And the problem that I'm facing, and I told good people who wants to run for office, is that all the line of people that lied for generations is what you're going up against. People are so distraught, people are so angry, people are so disappointed that when a real person who knows what's going on wants to fight, they don't trust you. And I understand that you don't trust me. I understand all the people that lied to you before. But I'm letting you know that I put my trust in Christ, that you will trust me. You will give me a chance. And I want you to go on my page, Facebook page, Sirrano 2021. And I want you to look at a survey that I did after years of fighting for those people. Who would you vote for? I put myself as number 6, and I put up officials and people that was running for mayor, not city council, the mayor's seat. And you will see the vote of those people knowing how hard I fought for them and took the beating from the government to try to discredit me. Beating and fine me and jail me for exposing them. 84% said they wanted me to be the mayor. Go read it and you'll see my credibility. Take their credit. Take me fighting that fight for you in Dallas that I would have fought for them in New Jersey. Take their word for it. And I did it on Facebook because I wanted you to see their name. These are real people who trust me, real people who knew what I went through for them. And I promise you, all I want is 24 months. It's what, 20 months. That's it. And after 20 months, if I didn't do the right thing, then get rid of me. I'm not going to go 8 years if I failed. But I know how to fight crime. I know how to get out in the community. I know how to relate to cultures. I'm in a mixed marriage, diverse marriage, I should say. And our cultures doesn't collide. Our love doesn't collide. But in my community, it does, under a councilman that has neglected, ostracized the rest of the community, which happens to be a minority community. Thanks for watching. I'll do my video and explain in details what happened to me in New Jersey and how they targeted me. And all the negative things you see was a result of me going after corruption. If you didn't see any negative thing, I didn't go after corruption. Because corrupted people target you and they look to destroy you. If you want evidence of that, you just have to open up the Bible and start reading the book of Matthew. And you'll find out for yourself what happens to a person that opposes corrupted people. And you come to tell them, stop. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.